This crisis exploded under Biden and were worsened by the reckless, agenda-driven leadership of Lori Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson. They didn't just ignore the collapse, they fueled it.
That is a leader of the Chicago Flip Red organization out of Chicago that you see sometimes in front of the Chicago City Council making some public comments, talking about how they are sick and tired of Chicago being a sanctuary city. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Go check out the headline at thecentersquare.com, where you can see Jim Talamonte's story. Chicago Flips Red says mayor fueled city's collapse with migrant sanctuary. And this is...
Republicans have lifted up...
This is Danielle Carter Walters testifying before a House committee. And clearly you've got that testimony. You can watch it all via the House committee website. It's linked up there at the Center Square. But here we are. The Trump administration has sued the city of Chicago. You've got the state of Illinois being sued by the Trump administration, the DOJ, over its migrant sanctuary policies. And those migrant sanctuary policies essentially say that law enforcement cannot say to federal immigration authorities, hey, we've got a non-citizen here and you need to come get them. And the arguments going all the way to the halls of Congress now with Republicans in control of the House, how that's going to possibly change in a state like Illinois or in a city like Chicago hasn't really been seen because the Pritzker administration and the Johnson administration have been steadfast with their continuing of those policies, saying they don't want to make people unsafe, and they want to make sure that any resident, legal or not, documented or not, is able to contact law enforcement if they're the victim of something. So that's one of the arguments that the proponents make about this particular issue. But obviously, the opponents of sanctuary cities and sanctuary states say that they're allowing for non-citizen criminals to be out on the streets committing crimes and victimizing the public. Went all the way to the halls of Congress, and you had Danielle Carter Walters testify with opening statements in front of the U.S. Judiciary Committee subcommittee on this issue, and here's what she had to say.
We proudly stand with our president to bring his message to the Black American community and expose the lies pushed by the Democrat Party and the fake news media. We are here to confront the reality of sanctuary cities. Despite the word sanctuaries, these cities are anything but safe. Chicago has claimed the title for years, and now we're drowning in the consequences. Lifelong residents are pushed aside, schools are overcrowded, crime is out of control, and affordable housing is vanishing. This crisis exploded under Biden and were worsened by the reckless, agenda-driven leadership of Lori Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson. They didn't just ignore the collapse, they fueled it.
So the testimony in front of members of Congress, Republicans and Democrats alike. There was a Democrat from Illinois, Chuy Garcia. He was there as well on the panel, pushing back on what he said were false narratives pushed by Republicans.
Republicans have lifted up some tragedies that involved immigrants committing a few crimes. This is the exception, not the rule. I live in an immigrant neighborhood in Chicago. I know what it's like. But the antidote to dishonesty is truth. And that's what I'm going to talk about. The truth here is that there's significant evidence that welcoming jurisdictions have lower crime rates, lower poverty rates, lower reliance on public assistance, and lower unemployment rates. This is from a stakeholder, someone who lives day in, day out. Do I want to live in a dangerous neighborhood? I have a wife, I have children, I have grandchildren. But welcoming jurisdictions have had to do this for good reason. And the truth is that the courts around the country have repeatedly upheld welcoming policies like the ones in Chicago, Cook County, and Illinois. They've also held that forcing states and localities to participate in immigration enforcement violates the Constitution. The truth is that welcoming policies increase trust between community and law enforcement. That's why forcing states and localities to be an instrument of ICE is opposed, not only by local law enforcement leaders, including Chicago, but also by many crime victims groups like the National Task Force to End Sexual and Domestic Violence.
So again, this is in Washington, D.C. As a Chicago activist is there to testify about what she says are the negative effects of the previous Biden administration's immigration policies with open borders and these sanctuary cities like Chicago welcoming them in. All kinds of tax dollars in the state of Illinois have been going to this. 1.6 billion, I think, is one estimate I saw that so far it's cost just for health care for non-citizens. And then you've got the other added taxpayer costs of housing and such. So clearly all of this compounding on itself and limited tax dollars. Chicago has got some serious financial straits. The state of Illinois also has financial issues, large unfunded pension liabilities and the like. So a lot of this hinges upon whether or not you can even afford it. If it's the humanitarian side, clearly that's a part of this overall debate. But the financial and humanitarian sides clashing here, and it's come to a boiling point, especially with the Trump administration and a Republican-controlled Congress looking to have legal migration. But back to Danielle Carter-Walters about responding to Chuy Garcia.
Mr. Garcia published because
these sanctuary cities are having to deal with, and these law enforcement officers, when they're trying to just, for public safety purposes, catch people and then not even notify us because they just want to release them back into the community. So tell me, so you think this issue of just the very people who supported the Democratic Party are being left in the cold, in my humble opinion? And so is that how you're seeing Chicago flip red because of the Democratic policies and what they're doing to those communities they're supposed to be protecting?
Yes. Chicago flips red established because of that. And we are going to make it our business because we have seen the destruction that the Democratic Party policies have done to our communities in our city. It's funny that Mr. Garcia is from Chicago and he cannot tell you what's happening in our community, because if he came into our community, he would see all the gang graffiti, the Trendy Agua signs, the MS-13. He would see that across the street in the park and where they're putting the shelters at, that all the needles that's in the park, all night. All we hear is music all night, and the drinking and the defecating on the streets, all the the illegal restaurants that are allowed to operate on the residential, on our corners.
And that's just one perspective, one individual there sharing their thoughts and frustrations with what they've experienced over the past 4 years. This conversation's not over by any stretch, because at the Illinois State House, there's ongoing conversations from some legislators to do more with state policy to push back
unfortunately,
against the Trump administration's immigration issues. So we'll have all the coverage we can get for you at thecentersquare.com. Go check it out. I'm Greg Bishop. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. Thanks to the patient people in the live stream, but I want to remind people we live to tape, segments recorded, and we upload those and get those for you throughout the morning. So it is Illinois in Focus Daily. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join us each and every weekday morning for Illinois in Focus Daily.